more than once have them in her possession. So,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm finding out a lot of things that really, really bothers me.
I got one question for you, and then I'm gonna let David and William speak on it. And I'm gonna bring up the picture because she said, bring up the picture.
In that picture, that's the day that she was
Don't even
arrested.
look like she won't come up, but we know how she looked. That's it.
It was on there.
Did you know her parents?
I know. And
Oh, okay.
the
Do you know her parents?
I don't know her parents. I had spoke with her mother one time before, when my daughter and my son got into it, and my daughter bust her grandmother's window or something. So I called the mother about paying for it, because that's the type of mother that I am. Um, and you could tell then what type of people they were, because they turned the whole ordeal into a big argument. So I just said I wasn't dealing with them, period. But even like the day that my son was killed, no one from that side of the family reached out. And you can even see her, like, that's the day she killed my son. She has no remorse in her face, no looks like she been crying, nothing, and I'm getting a lot of, this and that from what she's saying in jail, and just a lot of mess. But no, like, you can tell how she was raised, definitely.
In this photo, you just leaving the prosecutor's office, and you say justice will be served for my son. Talk about this post, the picture.
Actually, one of my Facebook friends made that's a song. She's singing a song, and that's not me. They did an AI replicate of me singing a song made to my son. But yeah, I went to the prosecutor's office. They basically told me what they saw on video, but of course they can't show me the video until there's a trial or a plea that's made. Um, but the video
Hmm.
surveillance says it all. She's claiming self defense. But I mean, you can't defend yourself against somebody who's not harming you or who's not armed.
Yeah, yeah, correct. I'm gonna go ahead and let David and William chime in if they want to ask you something or what we just talked about and seen.
Yeah, I have a few questions. I know it's
Let's
still
start with you,
fresh.
William.
Oh, yes, yeah. So I have a few questions, and I know that this is fresh. One question is, were there any signs outside what you said about her threatening your son? Were there signs that you saw that this relationship was not conducive for your son?
I did, like I said originally, when she said something to his daughter's mom. I'm telling him then, like, you can't let her get in the middle of that, because that's already a strained relationship. So I already didn't think that that was good for him. And then she's saying, oh, well, we're going to have a baby and all of this stuff. And I'm like, you want to have a baby with him? He's not even taking care of the baby he had on earth. You know what I mean? Like, where's your mother at? Because at that time, she was 19. She's 22 now. So I want to know where your mother is, and where she think it's okay for you to say you're having a baby by some man that doesn't take care of the baby he has on earth now, which is the reason he and I fell out. It's because I was telling him, like, hey, okay, the figuring out part is over. I had the baby from 3 months to 5.5. The figuring out part is over. It's time for you to step up and do what you're supposed to do. And it was because of her, he felt like he couldn't be around his daughter because she always thinking the mother somewhere around, or she wants to be his main center of attention for him. And so that, and then, like I said, that day when he was staying with me, like maybe, like I said, 6 months before he died, and he was screaming like that on the phone with her. I'm like, yeah, no, like nobody should be able to control your emotions like that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Another question, and I know that we you mentioned, and then we can't do anything. When our children and kids they get to a certain age, we can't force them to do things. If you could tell another mother and or father, give them advice if they were experiencing something similar than you, what you experienced, what would you tell them? How would you tell them to handle the situation with their daughter and or son in a situation like this?
So basically, what I would say is, even though me and my son, we were, estranged at the time of his death, what I should have done as a mother when we got into it was still reach out, still, what I mean? Maybe just hug him because
Mhm.
I knew who he was and he was not ready for what was about to happen. So I would say,
We lost her for a second.
Until she come back up, Latasha, if you hear us, we can't see or hear
okay,
you. Just go
okay,
back out. Oh, there she
now,
go. Go ahead.
okay. Okay, yeah. So I'm just I'm stubborn, and I'm my mother drilled in me like children are supposed to respect their parents. Children are supposed to respect their parents. Okay, so we don't always do things that are respectable to our children. They don't always see
Mm.
things that are respectable. So with that in mind, like we can't let one incident or two, three, four incidents like let you let your throw your kids to the wolves basically. And so I would say, pay attention more. You know
Mm.
what I mean? If you know who your kids are and you see that they're not who you raised them to be and they're just going in a different path, like do all that you can, to try to pull them back, whether it's, maybe getting them some therapy, um, being the bigger person, you know what I mean, and reaching out. Because my son, he was like, he didn't even talk till he was like 4. He had to have therapy and things like that. My daughter, she was 3 years younger than him, and like she was doing everything for him, walking, talking, everything. So I know that even just watching my son as he grew up into be a man, that he was not ready for what this world had to offer, because we raised our kids out, suburbs and all of that. So when they got on their own, they all wanted to get a taste of the streets or whatever they call it. Um, and my kids, they are not mentally equipped for that. And I knew that with my son. So instead of pushing him away, I should have, because it was like throwing him to the wolves and it cost him his life.
Mm. Okay, I'll rest my case right now. I'm gonna let you step in. Thank you for that.
Before David, before hold on one second. Let me make this very, very clear. If you in my chat bot talking crazy, you're gonna be blocked. You won't never see my page. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Miss Latasha.
Hey,
I just want to start by saying my condolences to you. I know this is
thank you.
tough for you, and I can't imagine what you're going through. I got one question. I just want to know, just talking about what happened to your son, is this somewhat therapeutic for you, or is it stressful? What level are you at right now?
It's a little bit of both. But what has been helping me is just writing everything down. I wrote a whole script for you guys, and I forgot it at home. But just writing my thoughts down, writing my feelings down. You know what I mean? Writing about him, writing it just about everything. right now has been my therapy, is getting it out, making posts, other parents getting in my inbox telling me their children's story. Just all the love that I've experienced all sorry, all the love that I've experienced since this has happened has been overwhelming and amazing. So um I'm still dealing with it. Like I used to, think people should grieve a certain type of way, and like, yeah, it's not like that.
Yeah.
I'm I think, David, if you don't have another question, I'm going to ask you a very challenging question. It just popped up in my mind right now. What's the young lady name again? That
Janiyah Beans.
Janaya. If you could say something to her right now, what would you say to her?
That I'm mad and I'm angry about what she did to my son, because I know that he was a person who was just trying to love her through her pain, her trials, her tribulations. I found a letter in his car that she had written to him on his birthday, which is August the 1st. And she was just basically saying exactly who he was. Like, you help me, you keep my attitude under control, you feed me, like, she was explaining exactly who he is. So
Hmm.
4 months later to say he's been beating you your whole relationship, there's no way. And I know my son's demeanor, you know what I mean? I can't say he never put his hands on her, because when relationships get toxic, they're just that. They're toxic. And people can only take so much. But I would just tell her, like, you ruined a lot of lives, including your own. And I'll be there every time you go to court. I'll be there.
Thank you for that. And as David said, I know this is challenging.
How do
I,
that look? Have you been to court with her yet?
No, she goes to court. Well, they set it for January 21st and January 26th, but the prosecutor said that those dates won't be any court date. They'll probably won't go until April or May.
Really? So, do you think? Do you think at some point you be able to forgive her?
She's not important to me, so it's not about forgiving her. Um, the hatred I have in my heart for her right now, it's probably not gonna go anywhere for anytime soon. And that's just, I'm not even a person that hates. I just know, like, the person that she took from this world is not what what makes me, well, she could have been forgiven, but what makes me not want to forgive her is because she's trying to paint my son out to be an abuser, and that was not in his character, not in his demeanor. So if she had just said, hey, I shot him, or we were fighting, or whatever, you could have told the lie. I'm fine with that. But to say that he's been abusing you this whole relationship, when you know that he's only bent over backwards to make sure that you and your family had, yeah, I can't forget that.
okay, I have another
And I know
question.
I follow you. Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I asked you earlier, what would you tell the parents? Now I'm gonna ask you if you could talk to young people, uh, and that in a toxic relationship or unhealthy relationship, we'll say unhealthy relationship, what advice would you give them?
At the first sign that someone is trying to control you, they're going to put their hands on you, they don't know how to communicate, all of that, run for the hills. Because somebody who loves you are not going to do anything to hurt you. Period. Like I said, we're all human. So we mess up. We do stuff that's hurtful to people, all of that. But if somebody loves you, they're not going to continually do things to hurt you. So if they do it once, 9 times out of 10, they're going to continue to do it. So know your self worth. That is my advice to young people.
I see you on Facebook. My fight other day, your daughter and you, and well, that's your sister doing a line dance.
Yeah.
Do dancing help you cope? Yes,
It's
yes. Um, just so you know, I was telling my sister about you last night, and she's down in Indy, and we come and see y'all for that line dance. We coming, we coming. But I see
I'll
you
put the
dancing,
challenge
and
out there.
sometimes at first, not knowing you, right? I say, how is she? Right, we coming for that. But I used to say, how is she dancing and her baby was just murdered, right?
Mhm.
I remember Tasha, my first conversation with her, was she wanted to make sure her baby went away with no problems. The funeral service, she wanted it correctly. At one point, she we talk about that. Um, Watching her videos, she made sure she did what she had to do for her child. Um, Everybody who's on here know I work homicides with families, and Tasha went above for her baby. And not too many families I can sit down with can do what Tasha is doing. She have a book. I want a copy of that when I come. I'll be in Indy Sunday night. But I want a copy of that book because not too many parents freshly, William or David, can write a book about their what they're going through and that process. And that's why we had her on how do the next day look afterwards. And I think she said it's the best way she could. I know who my son was. He's not who she tried to paint him as. And if you ever been in trouble, you know you're gonna say what you got to say to get out of trouble. But parents like Latasha is standing in that gap. I am my baby voice right now. Where can people find that book at, Tasha?
It's actually still at the publisher. So once we get it published, it'll be on Amazon. Then there's other like 40 other outlets. I will post the date and the book when it goes live. You'll be able to get it on ebook as well.
Okay.
Um, and then, like I said, we're doing the short films. We're going to submit those to the Sundance Festival, to the Essence Festival. There's quite a few filmmakers that I'm going to submit it to. Um, so, yeah, the question that you asked me, thank you, thank you. The question that you asked me about dancing is not so much as the dancing that um, gets me through or that soothes me. It's the family, you being with family, um, just having a good time. It's the music more so. Um, because too, my relationship with my daughter has been hard too. So to have her around and just trying to navigate relationships with adult children, it's hard. It's hard because they can be
Yes,
disrespectful.
definitely. Tell me. Tell me.
Yeah, they can be very disrespectful, and
Yes.
we can try to tough love
Do
them.
you think mhm,
Go ahead.
and definitely working on that with one of my daughters myself. So I know how a grown child can be disrespectful.
Mhm.
As parents, we hardball. We how have your son death been on your other kids?
They took it really hard. They took it really hard, but we're all a part of each other's healing right now. Because my oldest son, he's been in prison off and on since the age of 16. He's 33, so he hadn't been out of year from 16 till now. And so he was literally only out months before my son was killed. So he took it really hard as a big brother.
Right. Do you think your son death has brought you and your other children closer?
Definitely. Definitely. I've always had a, even though my oldest was in prison, we've always had a good relationship. But you know, the older kids, they think the younger kids are spoiled and you love them more and all of that. So all of that's been coming out now. So it's good because we're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Amen. William or David, any final thoughts for
Yeah,
Lasagna?
a couple of things. I had one more question, and also I want to talk to you about maybe inviting her to the show. I don't know. I don't know if she live in Indiana, or I mean,
Coming up. That's definitely coming up.
yeah,
She
Indianapolis. So
danced, so she can drive. She can drive. She can drive.
she. So my question to you, I know you speaking openly about this. You have a book. How openly do you and your family talk about this? Because one of the things that happens is we handle our hurt and pain in silos sometimes.
Mm.
And so, how do you? Because I know that the book is your outlet, is your way of dealing with the hurt and pain. But with your children, how do you come together with them and share their hurt and pain and talk about it? Because I think that is something that people should do to express their displeasure, their hurt and pain, and to be honest and open about it. So, how do you handle that within your
Right.
family?
Oh, you want to bring the tears on, don't you? You want to bring them on. Oh, shoot. With my kids, like I said, we've been able to, we actually just came off a week trip together just to get some time in,
Hmm.
um, and talk. You know what I mean? Let them talk, let them vent. If they want to be angry, cry, scream, whatever they want to do, I've been their safe space to do that. Um, it's a hard thing because I've realized a lot of things about myself
Mm.
during this period. Um, Mothering skills that I got from my mother that was not good for me or my children. Um, and my mother has not been standing in the gap for me the way that I need her to. So I've had to express a lot of things to her that I feel like I put on to my children, just the nonchalant, because my kids always thought I was so harsh, so nonchalant, but it was me basically doing the same thing my mother did to me. um and even though I let them express themselves coming up and have a voice, it was still kind of like, okay, you had a voice now, shut up, type deal. And it's just not good. It's not good. Or for them to feel like you always feeling like they're wrong instead of getting to the bottom of what's going on and then handling it that way. But it's the thing with parents, we know our children. So if you say somebody say your son did something, you know whether he did or not. And you say your daughter did it, you know whether they did it or not. So, but kids, they see that it's like, oh, you never on my side. No, I know you. I know you. But another thing that came from with my mom, she had three children, two boys, and then me. And I have two boys and a girl. So you think you're raising your children, but you're raising them all the same way, which is impossible to really think that you raised them, because you have to raise women differently from men, and you have to raise three individuals differently from each other. So when we say we raised our kids, did we really?
It's so, Dave, you have a question? Because I can go on. You have a question, David? You on mute,
Nah, I can't
David?
hear.
You on mute?
Oh, he probably got to go out and come back in.
Yeah. So as he coming back in, you talked a little bit about the difference between the way you were raised and the way you raised. Well, there was some similarity. Now, what advice would you give parents about holding on to those traditional ways of raising children? Because there's some good things, some good ways, we took from our parents, but they only did what they knew. So
Exactly.
now we have a generation of children that have access to everything on social media, and they know a lot more than we knew at their age. And so, what would you say to parents? What advice would you give them as far as trying to hold on to the way they were raised and try to do it do as I say and not as I do, versus looking at a different way uh, of raising children or taking on something that works for you, because what worked for your mother and father may not work for you in this day and time.
Facts. And that's just it. You really can't tell anyone how to parent, because what I did was the things that I liked that I got from my home, I did that with my children. The things that I did not like, I did not do with my children. And so you can only teach what you know. And with that being said, there was a lot of things that I did not know. So we have to become more educated, more be grown before we have kids. Because the thing is, I was a kid when I started having kids. So we like get yourself together mentally, physically, financially. You know what I mean? Before you even think about having a kid. But if you got one, then stop and figure out a plan to raise this kids. Because that's the thing. We don't plan anything. We just do it. We go with the parenting as it comes, day by day. And it's crazy. I was in a gas station and I saw a book, and it said the 20 things that we forgot to tell our children. And it was simple stuff like how to hang a picture. You know what I mean? Like just things you're not gonna think about. And that book, like, it just stayed in my mind. I was like, I gotta get that book, because it was the things in there were so simple, but we don't teach our children it, because we think it's null and void when it's really not. Because when they become adults, they do need to know how to hang a picture when they get their house. You know what I mean? It was just several little simple things in there that we overlook. But yeah, as far as telling somebody how to parent, you really can't. And a lot of it is, it's there wasn't a handbook, so with that saying, is anything goes, I guess is what it is, but that's not how it should be. It takes planning. Even if you got children, it's time to sit down and get a plan.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Yes, Latasha, I just wanted to kind of just commend you for having the courage to tell your story and give us your time. I just wanted to know, are you open to telling your story to more wider audience? I
I
know a lot of groups and stuff that would love to hear your story and it help.
I actually am. I'm actually looking into some public speaking sessions and maybe some retreats for grieving families. Um, Putting some retreats together, and then also starting my grief certification. Well, completing it, because I've already started. Um, because I feel like too, it's therapeutic for me just to talk to other people who are grieving, because they feel like they don't have that safe space. And, people who are grieving feel like once the funeral's over, everybody's going on with life like normal, when our lives will never be normal again.
Hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that what you just said. Go ahead, David.
Oh no, I just want to tell her thank you. I did follow you, so I definitely want to get a copy of your book as well when it's published.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I do appreciate, as has been said already. I have not lost a child. I don't know what that process looks like or feel like, and I commend you for not only telling your story, but in this short period of time where you're still processing, you're still dealing with this, you're still going through the grieving, process as well. So we appreciate your coming and telling your story.
Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. Um, Let me do one more thing. One more.
In fact, one of the greatest songs of gospel music would come from this era. Oh, happy day. In fact, one of the greatest songs of gospel music would come from this era. Oh, happy day.
The show is amazing.
We're gonna try one more time. Go to
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
In fact, one of the greatest songs of gospel music would come from this era. Oh, happy day.
The show is amazing. I think it's the best thing since dirt. So you know that's good. But I enjoyed it so much. Every single song, I knew every word.
The sound of gospel music was brought to us in an amazing, amazing way. The cast, the production crew.
This is my third time seeing this show, and I have one word: excellent.
I love the show. It inspired me to dance and sing on my own.
Yes, this was a very, very, very inspirational show. It's more than a show. It's more of an education.
I just saw the show for the first time, and the experience was off the chain. I brought my children in here. They were locked in the entire time.
Yeah, that was my daughter that was also saying that this show caused her to dance. That's my daughter in there. V, we can't hear you. We still can't hear you.
how about now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
So, Latasha, we would love to have you and a guest to come down on the 21st to see William stage gospel sounds of gospel. What do you think? You think you could
Okay.
do that?
Where is it at? Where's the show?
It's gonna be
West
in
Side.
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm actually heading to Detroit
When
on
you
the.
the
I think I'm heading to Detroit on the 22nd,
information,
so that would be perfect. It's sounding robotic.
okay, great. And yeah, we definitely gonna have you taken care of that night.
I
Just
appreciate
I'll
that.
send you all the information. You have any final thoughts, Latasha, for anybody who's watching? Let me just read some comments. Um, Transparency Mama says she loved that. Whatever you were saying, she loved what you was talking about.
Thank you.
Real realist. She put up a heart kiss, that big old and healing intervention. She said, "Hey, you are a
Thank
very
you.
strong, beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Love." And then we have Grace. She said, "Your book is an honor. Is his honor would keep him alive. He's always with you. I had a son murdered too, so I feel you."
Sorry for your loss.
And real, let's say, can you guys read the chats? Yes, we can. Some
Yes,
people
yes, we
got
see
blocked.
him.
Some people got blocked. But we thank everybody who said something to this mother. Um, Tell people where they can find you one more time on Facebook or any of your platforms.
Facebook is Latasha Boyd. On Instagram is She Bougie, the real, and the same for TikTok.
Okay. I have the phone line open. So realists want to know, has this caused you a desire? I'm sorry, has this caused you to desire a more closeness with God?
Of course, I'm already close with God. Um, my initial thought was being mad at him, but faith is faith. Through good time, bad time, storm, the darkest times, faith is faith. You got to believe he has a purpose, and his purpose and my son's purpose is to save somebody else that's experiencing domestic violence in silence.
So she said, I had faith in the beginning. Quit playing with me and my best friend.
Amen.
Again, thank you. I'm gonna make sure you get those tickets um to come on down. 2 tickets, you whoever you bring with you. You're gonna be VIP guest of mine
Oh,
for that night. So
I appreciate it.
so be
I
ready.
want I want to
Because
say
she
thank
said
you.
something in the video. She said it's better than dirt. She said this is better than dirt. Now, when she said that, it just made me geek. I like, hold on. I'm looking at dirt now. Hold on. It's better than dirt. I'm I'm there at 3 o'clock.
That's someone talking about from
But
Mississippi. 'Cause,
William, close out.
say again.
Man, bring that dirt this way. We want something better than
What?
dirt.
Yeah,
I heard her.
Mississippi, we actually know that clay dirt, people eat dirt. So back in the day, so the minerals in dirt. So she says better than dirt. I promise you, uh, you haven't seen a show like this before. It's inspiration, inspiring, encouraging. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna be inspired, you're gonna be uplifted. It's just you be motivated, and so that's the reason why we do these things, because we want to bridge that gap in our community. It's about healing. It's about moving forward. It's about leaving legacy for our children. And one of the things that Natasha, for those, your two children's alive, it's about now, how do you heal, continue to heal, because it doesn't happen overnight, as you stated. And then now
Yeah.
leave that legacy for not only those two children, but your grandchildren as well. And this is something that we want to encourage people to do. We want to encourage people to live life and leave a legacy, and also create history as well.
Right.
Somebody said Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, my crooked, our crooked, our
Love
humpback.
that film. David, your final thoughts to Latasha.
Final thoughts. Just definitely gonna keep you in my prayers. I'm definitely gonna be thinking of, if I hear any resources that I think you might be interested, I'll definitely send them to you.
Right.
I definitely want your story to, pretty much go around the world, because there's a lot of grieving parents and family members out here who, would love to hear your story and, find comfort in it. I definitely hope you do find peace at some point. And I thank you again for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all don't hang up. Y'all don't go nowhere yet. As I end, I just want to play one song for you. Um, and then it's gonna end for everybody, but you guys just stay here.
I want to say thank you for having this space for people to talk about their grief. I want to say thank you for what you're doing, because this is also helping a lot of people, because people don't know what grief look like. Grief looks like laughing. Grief looks like crying, dancing, sitting in a room by yourself, sleeping all day. Grief looks like everything. So for you to have this outlet, I really appreciate you.
And it's always open. You want to come back any given time, it's open.
Thank you.
And this song, as I think everybody on this panel haven't lost a child, but we know that we can trust God in the darkest hours of life. So I just want to play a short version of this song before we end.
One of the most difficult things to do is find yourself in a storm. While in that storm, it seems like everyone who you thought you could count on has walked away. Sometimes it seems like even God himself.
Yeah, right. You sure?